Hey, happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about the expression, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Now, I think almost all of us can remember a time when we were in school and the teacher left the room and all hell broke loose because all of a sudden the authority figure, our teacher, wasn't in the room and everybody went crazy. We were bouncing off walls, running around, chatting with our friends. Nowadays, people are probably on their cell phones or playing YouTube or doing whatever, or getting into mischief. But for the most part, when the teacher left the room, everything went crazy and kids went and did whatever they want. We had a sense of freedom. And this expression, of course, it is I can't even talk today. It's been around in English since the 1600s. It is a proverb, and it's so true. In corporate America, it was the same thing. I would find that we would go on department retreats, and then when we were gone, when all the managers were off doing a retreat, either doing fiscal planning or goal setting or team building, everything would go crazy back at the plant or back at work, back at the job site, right? Or when I would not be present in my business, if I was busy off doing sales calls or meeting with new customers or doing something, there were inevitably problems or things going on back at my manufacturing facility. If I wasn't there, if I didn't make my face known, if I wasn't there, then people think that I don't care, would think I didn't care, even though I don't know how they thought I didn't care, because I was pretty much there whenever I wasn't off doing something else for the business. And things would go wrong. Productivity would go down, even though the expectations were set. This is how much you should be able to do in a certain amount of time, unless there's extenuating circumstances. I would still find that when I wasn't there, when I didn't pop in often enough, it seemed like other people didn't care, and results would not be as good as when I was there. There are certain things in your business that I contend you need to always pay attention to. I think the finances are everything in your business is your responsibility, right? And even though we delegate, we have department heads and we have teams that help us do these things, we still are responsible for, I say you don't leave go of at least the direction of the marketing. You don't let go of the direction and the expectations of the finances. You don't let go of the overall goal and the overall expectations and values of the organization. You set the tone for those things. And if you're not there sharing those expectations, setting the tone for things, showing people what's important, then they don't know. And when they don't know, they have all this freedom to decide on their own. And since we all come from different places, guess what? What you're expecting and what you're wanting might not be what's actually being implemented and happening at your business. Many a business I've seen, grows really fast. We get all of our department heads and people in place, and then we want to go play. We want to go on vacation. We want to have that freedom and that time freedom, the reason we built our business in the first place. And then we find that stuff starts to go to SHIT because we haven't necessarily put the right systems, the right people, the right things in place to make sure that, hey, if performance drops to this level, we have to take action and act, and then we do these corrective actions and things are okay. We have to have those stopgaps in place, those systems in place, before we can just step away or walk away, unless we're going to just sell the place and let someone else run it, because things will change. My last home, I had 2 cats in, and I never saw mice. I only saw a mouse one time in the house when the cats caught the mouse and left it for me by their litter box as a little gift of love and appreciation, which, let's just say, I didn't love and appreciate it quite enough. I appreciated that they caught it and there wasn't a mouse in my house, but I didn't like it. It was gross. So when I took the cats out of the house, although I never saw a mouse in my house, when the cats weren't in the house, I'm sure there were mice there. I lived out in the country. I'm sure that mice move in and may move in now because there's no cats in the house. I hope not. I hope we've sealed it up and caulked it up, and it's all we're rehabbing and getting ready to move. But I hope that there won't be any mice. But I will say that having lived out in the country my entire life, you inevitably have mice that get into your house. And if you've got a cat, you never see them. If you don't have a cat, you're likely to see them scurrying across the kitchen floor. I'll never forget, after my sudden cardiac arrest, I stayed at my parents' for a while, and you could hear the mice all the time, but I was sitting on one of their tall kitchen stools one day, sipping my coffee, and a little mouse came scurrying across the kitchen floor right as I was sitting there. And that's because it wasn't afraid. It wasn't afraid of me, because I was probably more afraid of it than it was of me. And it certainly wasn't afraid of a cat or anything or any predators, because there weren't any cats there. But I got even, because I had my husband bring the cats over, and the cats spent a couple of weeks with me at the house taking care of the mice and making sure that I never saw a mouse again. Same is true of our businesses. We have to make sure that we're present, and that even when we're not present, people know what's expected of them, so that they're not like the teacher leaving the room and all hell is breaking loose, so that our businesses are running smoothly whether we're there or not. Because we don't want our businesses to be like when the cat's away, the mice will play, because we might not get the results we want. And that will slow our progress in supersizing and growing our business. That's it. Go ahead, have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom, what it might mean or could mean, or how you could use it as a way of looking at what it is that you're doing to grow and supersize your business that might give you a fresh set of eyes and a fresh perspective and some ideas on what you could be doing too, or what you should stop doing so that you don't leave things unattended and slow the growth of your business. Have an awesome day. Catch you tomorrow.